everyone. This week's quiz question about the books of the Bible and how we arrived at those 66 books that we have today. It's really a cool story. Lots of twists and turns and way more time than we would have just in this short video to describe all that. But I want to give you the major influences that happened in history to make that happen for us today. So first thing is the Septuagint. The Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, put together probably around 200 to 250 years before Christ. That is the Bible. When Jesus talks about Scripture, that's what he's talking about, the Septuagint. When Paul talks about Scripture, it's the Septuagint. All of the Gospel writers, all the New Testament writers, that was their Bible, the Septuagint. The second factor is Jerome. And now Jerome is the great scholar that translated the Bible from the original languages into Latin. Now, there were certain parts of the Bible that Jerome didn't like, parts of Esther, parts of Daniel, he discounted, but he pretty well kept that collection together in Latin. And the Bible used was that Jerome translated was the Bible the church used for centuries. The third influence was a man named Marcion. Now, Marcion was a heretic, and if you want to look him up, he's got a kind of a wild view of things. But Marcion wanted to do away with all of the Old Testament, do away with all the Gospels except for Luke, and all of the New Testament except for 9 books. In answer to Marcion, the church said, okay, wait a minute, we're going to define what those books are that we count as Scripture. And they did. Now, many years after Marcion was a man named Athanasius. And there'll be a test on this later. Athanasius of Alexandria, who was probably the most prominent theologian in the 4th century and became Bishop of Alexandria. His list of books, he published a canonical list of the Bible books as part of his 39th epistle in the year 367. And except for the book of Baruch, that collection is almost identical to what we have today. Now, there have been a lot of opinions about what should be in the Bible and what shouldn't be. Many people think Revelation should not be there. Some people even contested the Gospel of John. There were many who did not like James. There's a whole lot of that story, and it's really cool. But I want to leave you with one little trivia bite for you that most people do not know. And that goes back to the year 781 and the Dark Ages and the great Charlemagne. Charlemagne wanted to order society and put everything kind of in a rigid control. And part of that was a religious reform. And a part of that religious reform was the Bible. And with that Bible was the very first time that the word bibliotheca was used as a word to describe the Bible. And what that word means basically is library or collection of books. So pretty cool story about how we got our Bible. That's it for this time. I'll see you later.